It had to be dictated by reasons, and those reasons had always to be relevant and cogent. They had to be rational, and therefore a state activity, even when it related to commercial activities of the state, had to have different norms of fairness. The state could not pick and choose. The pick and choose system itself could also lead to unfairness and at times very serious allegations of corruption, allegations of nepotism. And therefore countries across the world, and we in India of course have seen this evolve administratively within the governments. We've seen it evolve jurisprudentially. That when it came to matters of procurement, when it came to matters of awarding largesse, when it came to matters of awarding contracts, when it came to public-private contracts itself, there had to be procedural fairness that the state had to follow. Now, this procedural fairness would always ensure that it could eliminate all elements of nepotism, favoritism. No accusing fingers would be cast. It would ensure transparency. It would also ensure that the state was able to manage for its citizens the best price and the best quality in terms of its procurement, which in turn would turn to best form of services that it gave to its own citizens. And therefore the experience of societies has been that increasingly it's moved in the direction of absence of any form of flexibility in these matters. And therefore each state now has formulated its own sets of regulations, its own sets of rules as to how the procurements are to take place. It doesn't require international covenants and agreements under the WTO, because even domestic covenants now in most democratic societies would ensure that proper procedures are followed and the state is able to get the best quality at the best price, and therefore in turn act for the larger public interest as far as its citizens are concerned. In different countries we've had different kinds of experiences how this has evolved. As the Expenditure Secretary explained, we have our own regulations now which very tightly ensure this in India. I am sure the other countries must be having very similar procedures. And this has been further necessitated by the fact that within the governance system, the layers of accountability to ensure that this is done have also been tightened. There are multi-layered accountabilities. Accountabilities of audit, accountabilities before Parliament, accountabilities before judicial institutions. And therefore, from a concept which existed decades ago, that the state was free to act as any other commercial entity was free to act, we've now moved to the other end of the spectrum, where the state can only act in a particular manner when it comes to public procurement. I think this, in short, is the essence of the way in which most democratic societies have been moving, and I'm sure this conference organized by the World Bank Group and the Department of Expenditure will provide an extremely important forum for the South Asian countries to share this experience itself. This is the region where the fastest growth in the world is taking place. And therefore, this is the region where delivery of public services in the years to come really has to be expedited. And the subject itself will be of a key importance in this region itself. I have no doubt in my mind that the deliberations that you have in the course of this conference will be of great mutual benefit to each one of us. And I personally would be watching with keen interest as to what the best practices that we are able to share with each other in this regard are. I wish your conference a great success. Thank you.